Hey everybody, Chris Bond 21 here, and welcome back to Let's Play Kingdom Hearts episode 10. So on the last episode, we finished up, well, sort of finished up Olympus Coliseum, even though technically there's still a little bit more to do there, but we can't do anything with it right now until we progress further in the game and some of the tournaments open up to us. So we're going to put that on pause for right now and come back to it at a later point, maybe at the end when all the tournaments are opened. We'll do it all in one video and get it done. So we are back in Traverse Town, as you can see here, which is where you have to go next, because technically we discovered two different Gummi Blocks that are going to help us open up the world map to allow us to progress further out into the universe. So we need to stop here and talk to Sid. Now when you first arrive here, nothing happens actually. So this is another point where the game isn't exactly clear on what you're supposed to do next. Now, logically, from a game design perspective, there's a very clever way of how they did this, but here's what you're technically supposed to do if you don't know what to do. So I could go run and go to the right area and get everything set and move along, but this is what you're supposed to do once you enter this place. Also, this is going to be a bit of a longer episode. I thought about maybe splitting this into two parts. Unfortunately, couldn't really find a good spot to do it. Actually, I had a point where I was going to split it, but it didn't really work out in testing. I'll point that out to you guys when we get there. But until then, we're just going to sort of wing it and see if we can do this in a relatively short fashion and get done with it. So what you're supposed to do when you arrive here is talk to Yuffie to ask where Leon is, because back on the Gummi ship after we finished Deep Jungle, we mentioned that we didn't know what the Gummi block we found there was for and that Leon might know. So again, that's sort of cluing you into going back here. And like I said, you could have done that after you completed Deep Jungle, but you're obviously going to go to Olympus Coliseum. You're not just going to stop traveling around and go back here. Also, we would have to go back through Wonderland's Gummi ship route and Traverse Town, and nobody wants to go through two Gummi ship routes. It's just not possible. So Leon's probably at the underground cavern. He trains there often. You know, the channel in the alleyway is connected to the cavern. So Yuffie's giving you the hint, but technically what's supposed to happen is after you completed Deep Jungle and they said the thing about Leon, they mentioned a red Trinity marker. Now when Sora first arrived in Traverse Town, he landed near this thing, so if you were exploring the wall here, you might have wondered what the hell this thing was. So yeah, red Trinity is charged Trinity, and basically this just has the three of them smash into things, which is kind of funny. So this isn't the right one, but this is supposed to get you into the frame of mind about how to use this thing. So your mind should make you think, even if you didn't talk to Yuffie, well, there's a red Trinity marker here in the alleyway, and this one leads to a set of Dalmatians, which I'm going to open up here. Yes, these are Dalmatians, and I'm going to use this in my future video, which I actually have already done. I've already done another file. I forgot you can't jump over this way, but this is a shortcut later when you have a better jump ability. You can jump on those boxes and get right into the alley, but you're supposed to do that and then realize that Red Trinity does this thing. So you might think that that was the secret alleyway, but that's not it, because it says alleyway. So when I first played Kingdom Hearts, I thought this is what the right thing was. So I was very confused as to where Leon was, but it turns out it's not that alleyway. It's further down the alleyway. So let me explain where you actually have to go. So we're going to head back into the second district and go into the hotel. So like I said, yeah, I finished the 101 Dalmatians on another file. I did that yesterday while I was waiting for some of the early parts to render, because some of the rendering is taking quite a bit of time. Also, there's new Heartless now that you can fight around Traverse Town. So I did all of the 101 Dalmatians, and I'm only missing, I think, 12 or 9. I think it was 9. 9 of them I'd already gotten on the other file. That was one of the sets of 3. So we're going to go into the hotel, which we were in earlier. We didn't get in this hallway, but we were in the green room. Not to be confused with the green room where celebrities sit before going on a talk show, but we're going to basically just head through the hotel. I'm not really going to spend a lot of time here fighting everybody, even though there's not that many Heartless. So yeah, we're back in the alleyway. Now, I think we have to actually defeat everything before we can do this, but yeah, if you keep walking along the back here, so we popped out, those blocks over there is where the puppy chest was, and now we're going to make our way down the rest of the alleyway and head into the corner, because this is where Leon actually is hiding. Now, again, this confused the ever-loving hell out of me when I first played this game years ago, because I thought that was it. It said alleyway, it was a red Trinity marker, and I was using, I think, I forgot what, but it was some sort of a guide I was trying to look at online, and things weren't that easy back in the day, because back when you wanted to get help in a video game, back when Kingdom Hearts was around, you still had to kind of use, like, written guides, so if someone didn't explain things correctly, you kind of were lost. It wasn't like nowadays where you can just YouTube stuff. So yeah, if you come over here, there's another red Trinity marker, and so this is where, from a game design perspective, it's supposed to make you think if you were exploring Traverse Town earlier, you might have come across this. So now that you have red Trinity, your gamer logic is supposed to snap in, and you're supposed to think, oh, well, I can do this now. So yeah, once you get red Trinity, you can break this gate open. That must have hurt. And we head into the secret waterway. So this is where Leon and I think Eris, yeah, Eris is here too, are training. There's another Dalmatian chest. I'll slightly show it off. You see it right there to the right inside that door frame? Yeah. There's also another white Trinity marker here, but we can't get that till way later. So we're going to talk to Eris first. This place is so mysterious. Well, that wasn't very... I thought we were going to have something more to say. Anyway, so we talked to Leon, and we'll have a bunch of things to do. Basically, if you came here right after you got Red Trinity, you'll get a couple of these cutscenes. But if you did everything, I think you'll get all of this. I think you can still do this after Deep Jungle, but I've always done it after Olympus. So you found the keyhole. Yeah. The Keyblade locked it automatically. Good. Every world among the stars has a keyhole, and each one leads to the heart of that world. There must be one in this town as well. What do you mean? It was in Ansem's report. The Heartless enter through the keyhole and do something to the world's core. What happens to the world? In the end, it disappears. What? That's why your key is so important. Please lock the keyholes. You're the only one who can. I don't know. Seeing other worlds would probably serve you well. Yeah. We gotta find your friends and King Mickey. I guess you're right. Okay. So yeah, that's the first thing you'll do. So I think if you... I don't know, you can't do that right after Wonderland, but after you cleared for the first 2 levels, they're going to mention the keyhole. So that's what we've been doing in at least 2 of the worlds so far. We've sealed the keyholes. And that's basically protecting the world from the Heartless, because the Heartless are trying to find that thing. And as we know, Maleficent's little villain squad over there is trying to do something with them. We don't exactly know what, but they're looking for them. And it now learns, we now just learned that these things are very important to the structure and stability of the world. Because if the Heartless find the world's keyhole, yeah, it's basically lights out. Yeah, so not pretty. So if you talk to Leon again, he'll talk about the gummy ship block. Hey Leon, this gummy block's different from the others. Do you know what it's for? Oh, he's either thinking or he has a migraine. Ask Sid, he should know. Wait, Sora, take this with you. We got Earthshine. This stone holds some mysterious power. I've been carrying it for luck. I want you to hold on to it. How do you use it? Yes, this is why I'm so glad we went to Leon. We've gone to Leon for help with one thing that we knew about, which was the gummy block, and we've been directed to Sid. And then the other thing he gives us, and he still doesn't know how that one works either. So yeah, we got Earthshine, and if we go into the stock menu, I'm pretty sure it's there. A precious stone with mysterious power sealed within. So this is a summon stone, and in Kingdom Hearts, summon spells, at least in the first game, are these types of things. They're these little stones that... I'll explain it later because we'll actually find out a more clear reason to define them later when we go to a certain place. So I'll save it for later. But basically this is where you get, or how you get the summon spells in the first Kingdom Hearts. You collect them through this. This is the only one that you get, I believe, no, there's 2. There are 2 summon spells in Kingdom Hearts 1 that you get via, oh no, make that 3. See, I don't exactly know everything. I'm trying to remember it off the top of my head. There are 3 ones that you get as part of the main game. And I believe there are 3 other ones that are secret that you have to go find on your own, which is actually pretty cool. I like that it's not forcing you to play the entire game and find, like, it spoon feeds you all the summons, because that's something like from Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy never really had all the summons given to you. There were always bonus ones, like even in my Final Fantasy X Revisit series, I've been mentioning how there was other Aeons to collect other than the ones in the main game. So we're going to try to talk to Leon. He seems to be preoccupied. So yeah, we're going to go ask Sid what this block is. So we're going to have to head back to the accessory shop and talk to him about what exactly it is. Because Leon obviously has no idea. So we got the summon spell. Also, kind of pay attention to that summon spell when we figure out what it is later. Because it's kind of funny why Leon had it when you think about it. But again, I'll explain more when we get there. Which won't be that long. We're basically going to go to Sid. Sid's going to redirect us somewhere else. And then we'll be well on our way. Oh, I don't know why I was trying to jump on the bench. Just walk up the stairs, Sora. Why are you getting fancy? Just trying to make my way back to the first district. So yeah, this part here is a little confusing if you don't know where that Trinity is. Which again, it's not possible that you might have stepped on that earlier and when you were there, you might not have even seen it. I sure as hell didn't, so I thought it was the one down that alleyway, which confused the ever-loving hell out of me back in the day. I was stuck here forever. I reset the game like, I believe like 4 to 5 times. I must have started over again because I thought I did something wrong. I thought I missed something. So yeah, Sid we're going to talk to, and he's going to help us out with the ship. And Donald, get off the counter, guys. Come on. We're guests in this guy's shop, and you're on the... Goofy. Okay, good. You didn't land on the desk. What you got there? Hey! Well, if it ain't a gummy block. Yep. What's this one for? You're kidding me. You're flying a gummy ship and you don't know nothing about navigation gummies? Bunch of pinheads. Inner space ain't no playground. There's a lot we don't know, so what? We have to use the gummy ship to go to other worlds. We don't have a choice. Whoa, easy. I didn't know. No hard feelings, alright? Well then, I guess I could lend y'all a hand then. Thanks. Basically, with navigation gummies, you can go to new places. You want one on your ship, right? I'll install it for you. But I got this thing I gotta go deliver first. What do you need to deliver? Just this book. It's real old. When the guy brought it in, it was practically falling apart. Too beat up to restore it the way it was, but overall I did a decent job of putting it back together. Anyway, you mind delivering it for me? It's the old house past the 3rd district. Look for a big fire sign. So we obtained an old book. And something just rang. What was that? The bell at the gizmo shop's ringing. Go check it out if you want, but deliver that book for me first. When you're done, stop by the house in the 3rd district. I'll be there. Alright. So basically now we have to head off to the 3rd district, which we can shortcut to when we get there. So I remember, I think I told you earlier that there's this door here. Oh, don't land on the crap. This door is a shortcut to the 3rd district, but we can't get there yet because we have to go around on the other side. So we're going to take the long way back over there. So yes, as Sid mentioned, navigational gummies. Navigational gummies are what's going to help us unlock more of the world map. So right now, if we went back out into the world map, we wouldn't be able to go anywhere because there's no way to get further out into the map. And this is how they kind of limit you from going too far, I guess, into the world map, because there's like later on there's another gummy you need to find, and you have to find a pair of them, so you can't skip. Actually, there is one world, or technically there's an option to skip one world on the map and go somewhere else, but you have to find the gummy ship at that last world in the path in order to get it. It's kind of confusing, but it's not like it's a choose your own path type of thing, or there's an option for you on what you can do. You kind of have to play it in order. There's just one section, and I'll mention it when we get there to make it a little bit more easy to illustrate, where you kind of have a choice where you could technically skip it, but I mean I wouldn't. Also, there's other reasons why you shouldn't be skipping worlds, but we'll discuss that again near the late game's end. So we're just gonna fight up some of this, and I'm gonna show off. Hopefully, if we just get through all these parts real fast. I believe it's just these nocturnes, and then we can go show you. So there's a shortcut, like I said, to get back to the 1st district, which we're gonna open up, so we don't have to keep going through the 2nd district, so we can move around a little faster. We don't really come back to Travis Town too much in the game. There's only one more time we have to return in to do some new stuff. But it's a good little shortcut to know, and there are actually a couple of more shortcuts in the later levels that I'm going to be pointing out to you, because it does make traveling a little easier. These world levels aren't huge by any means, but any sort of shortcut is cool in my book. So yeah, if you come over here to this open power conduit, it's going to say there are cords sticking out of the pipe. So we need, if it wasn't very clear by the thunder signal that's over it, we needed thunder, so we can't do this until we go to Olympus Coliseum. So we hit that, and we'll now see a little spark thing going on the wire. So then if you come over here to where the keyhole is, we've now activated it. And that's it. We basically now opened up the shortcut to the 1st district. So if I went into that door, we'd be able to get right back to where we started at the beginning. But we're supposed to go to the fire door, which is over here. Now, there's some weird symbols around this door. I primarily think the upside down omega sign is kind of funny. I don't know if that means something or if this is from the world where the character who lives on the other side of this door is from. But basically, all you have to do here is shoot fire at the door, and now you can go through. So this is the mystical house, and if you know your old Disney movies, you might know exactly what this is. Also, love this part because you have to jump on all the rocks, and if you fall into the water, you gotta swim your ass all the way back to the shore because Sora can't jump out of the water, which is flippin' annoying. And I'm so glad they got rid of the swimming mechanics in later games. So we're gonna head around on this side, and you'll see there's a yellow trinity, there's a chest up there, there's also a chest of Dalmatians over there that I don't get until much later in the series, and we enter through here to the empty room.
There's something about this musty place. It reminds me of the secret place back home, where we used to scribble on the walls. Remember?
Kyrie?
Sora?
Well, well. You've arrived sooner than I expected. What? You knew we were coming? Of course. Are you a Heartless? He doesn't look like one. Oh my, no. My name is Merlin, and as you can see, I am a sorcerer. I spend much of my time traveling. It's good to be home. Your king has requested my help. King Mickey? Yes, indeed. Donald Goofy, and who might you be, young man? I'm Sora. Ah, so you found the key. What did the king ask you to do? Just a moment. So yeah, this is Merlin from the not the Sorcerer's Stone. That's a different series. Presto, from the Sword in the Stone, which is a very, very old Disney movie about the King Arthur legend, which I believe I watched when I was very young. Don't remember again a whole lot about it because it was a very old movie. I don't think it was ever one of my favorites, but hey, it's a wizard thing, so I mean it's cool. So yeah, Merlin's here. He doesn't have a voice role in this game, but they fixed that in the sequel, so at least I won't have to do that if we get to Kingdom Hearts 2. There now, although I am trying to sound exactly like him from Kingdom Hearts 2. Your king asked me to train you in the art of magic. We can start any time you like. Let me know when you're ready to begin the training. Oh, and one more thing. And so this is the thing I mentioned a little bit ago about the summon spells, and who's going to help us with that? No other person than... I didn't time that right. The fairy godmother from Cinderella. She's going to help us out in a second. Hello, I'm the fairy godmother. Your king asked me to help too. I will assist you throughout your journey. I do not know how much I can be of help, but do stop by any time. So if you talk to Merlin, I think again, he'll mention the book. Oh, that book. So Sid asked you to bring this. Thank you. You wish to know what kind of book it is? I don't even know myself. In fact, it's not mine. Somehow it found its way into my bag one day. It was such a curious book, I asked Sid to repair it for me. Well, I guess I'll put it here somewhere for now. The book holds a great secret. The missing pages will unlock it. I'll leave the book over there. Do look at it whenever you like. My best regards to Sid for repairing it for me. Oh, and about that stone of yours. You should ask the fairy godmother about that. So you think we're automatically gonna, yep, transition right over to her. Do you know what this is? Oh, the poor thing. He has turned into a summon gem. A summon gem? This little creature lived in a world that was consumed by darkness. When a world vanishes, so do its inhabitants. But this one had such a strong heart. He became a gem instead of vanishing with his world. Can he regain himself? Yes, but only his spirit. Now watch. Bippity boppity boo! And we learned the summon spell, Simba. See, it's ironic that Squall had that because Simba is a lion, and if you know anything about Final Fantasy VIII, there's a lot of symbolism and analogies with Squall and a lion, so it's kind of funny he had Simba. To use summon magic, you need 3 party members in battle. Each summon spell can only be used once per battle because there's a way you can cheat with a later one. Be careful, you cannot use summon magic while any party member is KO'd, which is going to happen a lot, so good luck not using summon characters. They withdraw once they run out, and you can dismiss them whenever you want, and you can learn more about them in the journal. Whenever you call, he will help you. If you find any more of these, please bring them to me. Don't worry, when their worlds are restored, they will return there. Sora, please help save them. Don't worry, I will. So yeah, if we go, actually no, we don't have to go there. So now the bottom thing now has the summon. Originally, this was cumbersome as all hell. In Magic, summon was at the bottom of this list, which right now isn't so bad because we only have 4 spells. But when we get all of them, it's a big list, and to have to go all the way down to the bottom or to flick down like that just to reach the bottom note was a pain in the butt. And so having the summon thing at the bottom, a whole lot easier. So I think, yeah, they're simple. We can't use them right now. I don't know if I'm going to be really using the summon spells all that much. I honestly never do when I play Kingdom Hearts. So I might not. Don't really know. Like it said, you can only use them once per battle because while Simba is just sort of your standard attacking summon, there's a summon we get towards the end of the game that basically acts as a extra life. So if you were able to summon them over and over again, you could essentially play in God mode. And it wouldn't be a whole lot of fun now, would it? So we're going to go over to the book real fast, but we're not going to activate it. So I'm going to go into first person mode. So, okay, that was scary. Goofy, get out of the way. I want to show the good people the book. Okay, so yeah, this is the book. And originally in this part, I was going to go into this book and finish up the episode here, because this is a sort of side world that we have to complete in order to 100% the game. You don't have to defeat the 100... You don't have to defeat... Sorry. You don't have to complete this book to beat the game, but if you want to gain access to some secrets in the post-game stuff, you do. Now, Merlin stated that there were some missing pages, and so we can't actually finish this. So even if I was to enter this book right now and get started, we can only do like an intro cutscene, and then I have to leave. So it doesn't really pay to go in here and then come back 20 videos later. So we're going to save this entire book for the near post game, probably I would assume before we go to the final world, just to clear it up in one go. By that point, we'll have access to all the hidden pages, which is also the other problem. Right now, we can't get any of the hidden pages. The hidden pages only start popping up in worlds that we go to after this. So, kind of a waste to go do this right now. So, they won't actually let you leave. If you step on the pad, Merlin's going to yell at you. You best go see Sid before going anywhere else. So, yeah, you can't leave because there's a scene that you have to trigger. So, if you want to go back to Sid, who's in the 1st district, or actually he's in the 3rd district, but if you want to skip all this in warp, you can technically go back out to the world map and then just pick another a save point, but you can't do that because there's actually a cutscene that you need to trigger after leaving Merlin's house. So they want you to go back into the 3rd district, which Sid is in. I think he's in the house that's in there now. You're gonna see there was a vacant house. I didn't really point it out in the earlier videos, but there is, and I just made it onto that rock. I hate falling off these things. So we're gonna dodge roll into the 3rd district, and sure enough, once we take a couple of steps, this is why we couldn't leave.
There you are. What's going on?
Riku!
Hey, cut it out.
I'm not dreaming this time. Right?
I hope not. Took forever to find you.
Riku! Wait a second, where's Kairi?
Isn't she with you? Well, don't worry. I'm sure she made it off the island too. We're finally free. Hey, she might even be looking for us now. We'll all be together again soon. Don't worry. Just leave everything to me. I know this...
Leave it to who?
Sora, what did you...
I've been looking for you, and Kairi too, with their help.
Who are they?
We visited so many places and worlds, looking for you.
Really? Well, what do you know? I never would have guessed.
Oh, and guess what? Sora's the Keyblade Master.
Who was a planet?
What's that mean?
So, this is called a Keyblade?
Huh? Hey, give it back!
Catch.
Whoa. Okay, so you're coming with us, right? We've got this awesome rocket. Wait till you see it.
No, he can't come.
What?
Forget it.
Oh, come on. He's my friend.
I don't care.
Oh, he's gone.
Riku? Nice going. Oh well. At least he's okay. And who knows? Maybe we'll run into Kairi soon too.
So that was Riku seemingly coming out of nowhere. So in the original game, this is where we first bumped into Riku after the whole opening stuff. Now in Final Mix, we got that little bonus scene back, I think, what was it, episode 3? Where we basically saw that Riku landed somewhere else and encountered someone else before this. So that kind of brings in a little bit more clarity. Now it only takes another 2 seconds before we learn what exactly is going on with Riku. Clearly something's fishy. Now that scene was actually pretty illuminating for a couple of reasons. One, Riku grabbed the Keyblade. Now as we learned in later games, Keyblades aren't exactly things you can share with your buddies. You kind of have to only use it yourself because it chooses, well not really chooses, but it's pretty much bound to one master, and if someone who isn't meant to hold the Keyblade grabs it, it usually reverts back. So there's a bit of a contradiction there, maybe. We'll see as the game continues. We'll learn more about that before the end. So we're going to come into the small house, and oh, look how cozy it is in here. So you couldn't go in here earlier. It was all dark and stuff, but we're going to talk to these guys, well, girls first, before we talk to Sid and advance the story. Oh, that's called a navigation gummy? Okay, that was random. Yuffie, what do you got to say? This room will be our secret base. It's nice and snug here. Yeah, it's nice and snug. Not exactly a base. It's just a room. Okay. But if we talk to Sid and Squall, we advance the game. You guys ever hear of Maleficent? I hear she's in town. Who is she? A witch, man. She's a witch. She's the reason this town is full of Heartless. Don't take her lightly. She's been using the Heartless for years. We lost our world thanks to her. One day, a swarm of Heartless took over our world. That was 9 years ago. I got out of that mess and came here with these guys. That's awful. Our ruler was a wise man named Ansem. He dedicated his life to studying the Heartless. His report should tell us how to get rid of the Heartless. Where's this report? We don't know. It got scattered when our world was destroyed. I'm sure Maleficent's got most of the pages.
You see, it's just as I told you. While you toiled away trying to find your dear friend, he quite simply replaced you with some new companions. Evidently, now he values them far more than he does you. You're better off without that wretched boy. Now think no more of him and come with me. I'll help you find what you're searching for.
So you delivered that book? That navigational gummy is installed and ready to go. You find another one, you bring it to me. I threw in a warp gummy just for the heck of it. Warp G! Now you can jump to worlds you've been to before. Thank God. Well, better get back to my real job. What's my real job? You'll see. See me at the 1st district. I've been thinking about the bell in the 2nd district. The one that rang a bit ago? The one above the gizmo shop. There's a legend about it, you know? But it's all boarded up. No one can get in there. Heck, go check it out. Ring it 3 times to see if anything happens. So this is the next part where we have to go to the gizmo shop. So again, I was going to end it here, but the next thing to do is just the gizmo shop bit. And that would only be about 10 minutes, and that wouldn't exactly be an exhilarating next part. So rather than have you guys just sit through one day of all this and then have to go through a smaller video that just contains the fight that we have to do in a little bit, didn't seem worth it. So we're going to head back into the 2nd district. Now, as we saw, Maleficent is sort of twisting her little claws into Riku's mind, but there's something very funny about that, where Riku isn't exactly buying Maleficent's plan. There's a line he says a lot later in the game that illustrates this point, but he just sort of wants her for a means to an end that we'll learn about fairly soon. But yeah, it's the typical JRPG, anime, drama, soap opera filled thing where your friend becomes your enemy, so Riku could be turning towards the dark side. Also, there are literally a ton of Star Wars references, especially in later Kingdom Hearts games. It's really weird how some of the stuff bleeds in. Also, before I leave the gizmo shop, I was going to just sort of head out of here, but this is a great spot to level up, especially at this point in the game. So if you're kind of low leveled, you're not exactly in the 20s or you're low teens still after doing all 3 of the other worlds, which is possible because Olympus Coliseum doesn't exactly have a ton of fights for you to get involved in. You just do the games and then that's it. So once you do the 7 fights in the Coliseum, it's kind of it. You can't really get anything else. And even beating Cerberus only gives you as much XP as it did. So if you want to level up and you're not totally cool for this next fight coming up, the Gizmo Shop is great. Honestly, fighting the big bodies is the most annoying thing in here, but these guys, these little air soldiers, they give you 5 experience points as a piece, which is great. This is a great spot to level up. Also, as you can see, they keep coming in like these waves, so there's a lot of Heartless in this room. You can come here earlier too when you were first in Traverse Town. It's another good spot. There's some Shadows and some Soldier Heartless. They give a pretty good decent amount of XP. This is a good spot to just keep coming in and farming things up. See, I leveled up while I was in here, and I think I'm going to leave it that minute. I got my AP up, which isn't really going to help me. I don't know. Maybe I can equip Sonic Blade that Cloud gave us in the last episode. Maybe I went into the wrong thing. Ability. Let's see. I've got Tech Boost, which I don't want. Oh, good. I can get Sonic Blade. I don't know if I'm going to keep that on for too much longer, but I'll try to show it off. Maybe. I don't think I'm going to do it up here, because if I fall off the building, it's not going to be fun. I'll have to go back up. So I don't know if I'll be able to do it, but yeah, these guys aren't exactly on the ground, so I can't show off Sonic Blade right now, but I will the first chance I get. See, I could do it right now. You see the thing on the command gauge now says Sonic? That will allow me to do Sonic Blade. So in the original Kingdom Hearts, that didn't happen. There wasn't a triangle command for those moves. It was at the bottom where Summon was, so you had to scroll down to the bottom, hit Sonic, and go, and it's so cumbersome. I don't know how they thought that that was a good idea. So I'm going to try to kill this guy without falling off the building. Close. So yeah, if you want to go, so this is another reason why you can't get up here. So again, back when I first played, I heard that you had to go to this bell, so I tried to skip it and go here because I couldn't find Leon in the alleyway. So I kept trying to come to this area and use the Trinity. Now you're probably thinking, well, what stopped you? The Trinity marker's right there. Well, in a second, I'll show it to you when I get back control of Sora. There are two boxes, if you notice, that were up here on the roof. That one and that one. And before you come up here, if you don't do the Leon alleyway stuff and you don't do all the book stuff with Merlin and everything, the two boxes are in front of the Trinity mark and you can't get to it. You can see it through the gap, but you can't get it. And I, for the life of me, couldn't figure it out. So we have to ring this bell 3 times to activate something. And we'll see it now. See down here in the square, moving this little block. So you got to turn it 3 times, and you can't skip it. You got to wait the whole animation out. Go turn it again. It's going to move 1 more time. Now the sign's lit, line up, and the last go, and this will trigger a little cutscene. Let's see what happens. Ah, got some butterfly pictures. That looks pretty. And lo and behold, there it is, the Traverse Town keyhole. So like Era said, even the town had a keyhole. So every world has a keyhole, with the exception of 1 in this game, which makes sense, but we'll cross that bridge next episode, I think, or 2 episodes, maybe 2. I don't know what I'm doing for that. I don't know what I'm gonna do for the next episode because it might be too short again. See how I feel with that. Uh-oh. So the God Armor is back. Oh boy, he probably wants some revenge for us kicking his butt back in the first time we were here. So, yep, you just want to do the same thing again. He has body parts that come apart. I'll try Sonic now, even though it's probably not going to be. So yeah, this is Sonic Blade. Not going too bad. So that's what Sonic Blade is. You just press and triangle. It's a cool move. I like it. It's not the greatest, and that's it. We beat him. He fell apart, and it's over. That's it. So easy. Or is it? No, of course not. It's the old tradition of an old boss coming back and turning into something way, way different. Well, not really different. I like this boss because it just flips over, and I like how his feet become the arms, and just because he does that, it becomes like shoulder pads, and then his hands become feet. It's weird. So this is opposite armor. Get it? Because he gone opposite on us. It's funny, right? It's the same fight, really. You just fight him by targeting body parts. It's not that bad. This is actually a pretty cool fight because it's a pretty open area. You can go everywhere in the second district here. I mean, granted, you're going to mostly keep it here towards the fountain area, but you can go everywhere, which is pretty cool that they left it that open. Usually, these things tend to... I'm gonna die. These tend to put you in like a little locked area, and I might have to grind again between episodes maybe because I haven't really been fighting a whole lot of Heartless. And the fights are starting, I can notice, taking a little bit more health off me. The annoying thing about this is we don't have access to the higher jump ability just yet. So trying to grab his body parts is still kind of a pain because he floats a lot. So you want to try to just target, and he just went through the wall, and I'm going to die. Oh, jeez. Hope I got some potions in there. You just want to focus on, like, the legs, or rather the arms in this case. I'm trying to get his body just to narrow it down a little bit. So yeah, he's down to 1 health bar, and I'm going to try to stay focused on dodging, and okay, got his hand. If you get rid of all of his body parts, it becomes a hell of a lot easier. Just it can be a little struggle with all of them, because he has these different moves. Oh, I did 7 tech points, nice. I just leveled up, so odds are I'm probably not going to do it again. I can't see. No, that's sort of the bad thing about this fight, though. I complimented it on being open, but at the same time, he can get stuck in the geometry, as you see. His legs are flying through the walls and stuff, and I can't hit him. Look at that. His body is clipping through the floor. Yeah, it's not the best, but I gotta give him credit for having this opening. So yeah, when you get him down to like the last bit of health, he's gonna shoot that thing at you. But he's easy, and you just wail on him in the corner, and he's dead. I might need to grind. Really thinking about grinding. So we're at 33 minutes of this video. We're just about done. Glad I didn't split it. I could have, but I didn't really know where a good part was to knock it in half. So just sort of gonna wing it again and just see where it goes. So we defeated the opposite armor, and look, the Mad Hatter, which I guess he has a store in Traverse. And we learned Aereo. So I guess the Mad Hatter has a store in town and he exists in Wonderland. It's confusing when you think about the metaphysics of how this universe works with where the Disney characters live. For example, like Huey, Dewey, and Louie are here in an item shop, but they belong in Disney Castle. So confused as to why they're not there, right? And we sealed the Traverse Town keyhole. The fun thing is, after you seal the keyhole and you still stay in the world, no Heartless will show up. So you have to leave the world and come back for them to spawn again. So even if I think if I walk around Traverse Town, or at least the 2nd District area, and we got the Navi G piece. So this is one piece we need to open up another set of paths later on down the road. Like I mentioned earlier, there's another Gummi pair we need to get. So there's no Heartless anymore. You'll notice that nothing's popping up over here, and nothing will pop up here. Same thing happens, I haven't really been showing it off, but when we complete worlds, and you still walk around after sealing their keyhole, there are no Heartless. So if we left without talking to Sid, this is one last thing we have to do before I end it off. Talk to Sid when he said talk to him in the 1st District to see what his real job is. If we don't talk to him, we can't queue up a scene that we're going to show off, not next time. Actually, I jumped the gun. When I said next video might be 1 part, no, next video will be 2 parts. The videos after that, back to 1 part. But if we don't talk to Sid right now, we can't queue up a special alternate cutscene that we will be seeing in 3 episodes. So I'm going to talk to Sid so I make sure we can get that later. Hey, now that was quick. Now you know I'm in the Gummi Block business. Working on your Gummi ship sure was great. Come again and I'll give you a big discount. Came Tommy G. Go ahead, take it. It's a special giveaway. Now, like I said, you don't have to... In the original Kingdom Hearts, the Gummi ship is practically next to nothing worthless because there's nothing to do with it. There are no missions. There's no bonuses. If you want to collect all the blueprints, you can, but nothing happens if you do. It's kind of just you feeling good about yourself. But here there's a trophy for getting all the blueprints, and there's a trophy for completing... Like I said, there's 2 different versions of it in Kingdom Hearts. PS3 version, that you have to do all the missions. If you're on Final Mix on PS4, you only have to do 1 level 3 mission. But here's the thing. The Gummi ship shop that Sid has, and we're going to talk to him and show you what the shop looks like. He's going to talk about the Gummi block we just got. Hey, got another navigation Gummi there, eh? I bet you want it installed. Yes, please. But, looks like this is another one of those blocks that comes in sets. You got to find the mate to this one first. So yeah, we can't do it. So if we talk to him again, he'll now bring us to the shop. So you can go to the Gummi menu, which I showed earlier, or you can shop. So this is what he's got. Alright, there's all these blocks, and they all do different things, and... They all have things. This is a good one to use. I'm going to put this out. This is Haste G. If you put Haste G onto the Gummi ship, you can drive a little faster, which is kind of good. Again, I'm not showing the Gummi ship mission, so there's no need for me to put that on. But if you are playing the game on your own and you're getting kind of sick of traveling through the very, very slow as molasses Gummi ship missions, boom, Haste G is what you need because that will make you go a little bit faster. It's basically a nitrous button that allows you to just sort of boost ahead a little bit, which... It's helpful, not bad. Again, there's only about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's about 7 more routes you got to complete before the end of the game. And Sid, as he mentioned earlier, gave us the Warp Gummi, so we'll be able to travel around to worlds we've been to already without having to go back through their paths. So if we want to go back to Olympus Coliseum, if we want to go back to Deep Jungle, now it's just a matter of picking and choosing. And I'm going to show that off real quick before we end it. So that's it for Traverse Town. We're pretty much done. I just want to show you what the Warp thing looks like now in the menu and what this is going to look like. So there's a tournament being held at the Coliseum. I hear there's a great reward for the winner. So yeah, right now there is a tournament to fight here, but we're kind of on the same level, so we'll be it'll be a decent challenge. But again, we're going to save, like I said at the beginning of the episode, we're going to save it. So now you can switch between normal drive and warp drive. So you don't have to go anymore on these routes. If you ever want to go back to Wonderland or Deep Jungle, you just hit warp. Now, if you notice, we have these things called a warp hole. So yeah, if you want to, now if we're going to go to the next world, we have to go through that and fly through it. So I'm going to show you what that looks like, and then I'm going to say goodbye to you guys. So yeah, now if you want to go to a new world, and because there's nothing on the map, we need to use the warp hole to get to the next area. I don't exactly know how that works from a technical standpoint. Technically, if you go into a warp hole, I don't know how that nets you into a specific path. I guess it's random, and you wouldn't know where you were going. So yeah, you basically have to play through a little bit of the Gummi ship map that you start with. So like, this is the path to Wonderland. So if we kept going, we would wind up there. But right after, I think, this wall of blue shells, we'll be seeing the warp hole, I believe. It's a little bit ways in. It's not too far. But again, so slow. So if I had Haste G on, I would have probably been able to just sort of boost. So it's like you press the square button and ship goes forward a little bit. It's not the fastest thing in the world, but it's decent. It's decent to just get through these a little bit faster. So I know I haven't been showing off too much. I haven't shown off the Gummi ships other than that first thing in Wonderland. So you might remember this from that episode. So I think right after this, I feel like it was so much closer to the front. Now I feel like we're dragging it out. I think it's after this. I hope it's after this. I'm already bored. So this is so slow. And like I said, there is no missions in the original game. So there's no reason for Sid's shop. You're never going to buy anything from him or do anything. So you're going to stop here and there will be a little bit of a cutscene. Okay. Looks suspicious. Maybe it leads to another world. So you got to go into it. And it takes you to a white screen. So here we are on the rest of the map. I'm gonna maybe end it here. No, you know what? Maybe I'll. It's 40 minutes in. I feel like we've done enough time. So I'm gonna finish the rest of this map. I don't know how much longer it is. I don't think there's much more to do, but we will arrive at the next world momentarily. But I'm going to sign off on you guys right now. I'm going to finish this off because this is killing me of how torturously slow this is. So thanks for watching, guys, and when we resume on the next part, we will be at the world that awaits us at the end of this warp path. So thanks for watching, and I hope to see you guys on the next part.